Hey there, my name is Braden Cromas from How To Basic Bike Maintenance, and today we're going to be learning how to set up a tubeless tire. So let's get into it. First, let's go over the materials you'll need to do this.
Alright, your first material is going to be any sort of hex wrench, followed by that is going to be a tire lever, then number 3 is a tubeless valve set, and followed by that at number 4 is tubeless sealant. I prefer orange seal. And finally, you're going to need a tire pump.
Alright, now that we've gone over the materials you'll need, the next step is to take your wheel off your bike. Now, I've already done this because I needed to put this in my car. But I'll take off the rear wheel because it's a little bit more steps just in case that's the tire you guys are going to set up.
Alright, the first thing you're going to want to do is shift your derailleur into the hardest gear. Then you're going to want to push the derailleur up and lock it in place. Then just put your hex wrench in and take out your axle. That way you can drop the wheel off. Alright, now that the axle is out, you're just going to grab the derailleur and swing it back a little bit and take the wheel off and you're all done.
Alright, now that our wheel is off, the next step to take is to take the tire off the rim. So let's get going on that.
Okay, so to take the tire off, you're going to unscrew the valve and then you're just going to push it down to let all the air out. This is so that we can take the tire off of the rim, and the easiest way to do that is with no air. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to move the tire off of the bead. This shouldn't be too hard because I have a tube in right now, so you don't really need much pressure. It will be a little harder if it was already set up tubeless. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and take your tire lever and put it under the tire. Then you're just going to scoot your arm across the rim consistently under the tire to get that tire over the rim on the one side. Then you can just take the rim right off the tire and the other side of the tire should just pop right off just like it happened there. Okay, next we're just going to take this tube off. So to start, you're going to take off that metal O-ring on the outside of the tube and you can just pop the tube right off.
Alright, now that that part is done, the next thing we're going to want to do is put these guys in, which are our tubeless valves, which allow the sealant to get into the rim. So let's get started on that. Shouldn't take too long.
And just like we did with the tube, we're going to go ahead and unscrew this metal O-ring so we just have the O-ring and the valve by itself. Then we're going to go ahead and find the valve hole in the rim, which I just pointed to, and we're going to take the valve and put it right through that hole. Then we'll take the metal O-ring and screw it back on the other side of the rim, nice and tight so that no air can escape. Okay, then our next step is to put the tire back on the rim. This can be a little hard to explain with words, but I'll do my best. You're going to want to put the rim inside of the tire and then pull the tire on one side back onto the rim all the way around. Then when that's all done, you'll flip the tire right around and you'll do most of the tire on the other side, but leave a little hole so that the sealant can get in. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I point to it in a sec. Alright, now comes one of the arm workouts that we're going to get when doing this, and this is just to shake up the sealant. Shouldn't take too long. Now that the sealant's all shaken up, we're going to go ahead and pour that into the hole we already had earlier. And we're going to pour about 4 ounces in there, at least for the size tire I have. It might be different, I would go ahead and look that up. Then we're going to rotate the wheel so that the sealant is at the bottom and the hole is at the top. And then we'll just pull that piece of tire back over the rim. Then comes arm workout number 2, and this is just to pump the pump up, at least on my specific pump. Mine charges air. If yours doesn't charge, you can just go ahead and put it on and start pumping up your tire. Okay, so next you're going to go ahead and want to put the pump right onto that valve. And my pump, with all the air charged, will just release the air, which you'll see in a sec. If it doesn't, just go ahead and start pumping. And that, what you're hearing is the bead setting, and you want to hear that. That's good. And then you'll likely, if you have this pump, need to pump a little more. If not, you're going to pump anyway. I like to set this tire at about 50 psi before I stop pumping. That way it's nice and firm and the bead is no doubt all set.
Alright, now that we've got the tire on and we have checked this bead line, saw that that whole thing is on, the next step to do is you're going to want to shake this tire around quite a bit, get a lot of sealant in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now that we've shaken up the tire, got all that sealant around, our next step is going to be to put this wheel back into the bike. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm not going to film it just because it's basically the reverse of what I already showed you guys to take the tire off. So if you just play that video in reverse, I mean, that will show you how to put the wheel back on. So yeah, let's go ahead and put that guy on, and I'll see you at the final step after that. Alright, as we can see, our wheel is back on, and now it's on to the final step of this whole process, and that is to just give the wheel a good few cranks. Let it spin for a bit, really get that sealant moving, and that way the sealant is evenly in the wheel and not just setting in one place. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we're just going to let it sit like that until it stops spinning. And then we're all done with this process. So, I appreciate you guys watching these videos, and I hope that your wheel setup was easy and you can go ride the trails now with some nice tubeless tires. So, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.